So when you're deciding on any country, हमें हमेशा कुछ चीज़ों का ध्यान रखना होता है, जैसे कि how is the current job market over there, वहाँ का work life balance कैसा है, वहाँ किन skills की shortage है, and obviously कि वहाँ की job security का क्या position है. So in today's video, we will be discussing the UAE job market, where I'll be sharing some insights about day-to-day expenses, bills, which job roles are most favorable in the market. Not just that, but we will also be discussing a lot more, like my friend's personal experience who is currently working and residing in Dubai. So when it comes to the UAE, most of us will only discuss Dubai due to many reasons, because it's flashy, the culture is very open, and people are coming from all kinds of backgrounds. When I was there in April this year, I found out, and it was very shocking for me as well, how openly alcohol was available in a Muslim country. Also shocking to know that pork was also available in some non-halal shops. So what does this signify? What does this openness signify? This signifies that the government of Dubai wants people from all across the world to come and reside in Dubai. Talking about food, I was there for almost 20 days and spent almost as much as I would have spent in India if I were eating at places like KFC and Domino's. So what I mean here is that the food is not that expensive. Even eating out isn't. But आपको पता होना चाहिए कि आप कहाँ पे खा रहे हो. अब चीज़ के एक फैक्ट्री में जाके लंच करोगे तो that won't be counted as normal. Well, I ate there and the average dish was priced at around 100 dirhams, approximately 2,300 rupees. But on the other hand, there was a very famous Pakistani restaurant near my accommodation that served good kebabs and biryani for the price I would have paid in India when eating at a basic restaurant. So for example, I spent 10 dirhams on biryani and 20 dirhams on a big portion of kebab. And now I don't know all of a sudden why I've started sounding like a food channel. So again, I know all this may not make much sense right now, as you might think I'm here to learn more about UAE job market, not discuss your trip details. But trust me, all this will start making a lot of sense as soon as you decide to move to a new country. I still remember my time in UK, where eating outside food was no less than a luxury. The day I landed in UK, I still remember, I paid £12 for a portion of biryani, and that was also at a very basic restaurant. It was expensive back then in 2013, and it's even more costlier today. Also, I cannot imagine any student living off part-time work, salary, wages, and being able to afford eating outside in the UK or most of the Europes, especially the Scandinavian part. Well, my name is Jagjot Bhalla. I'm an abroad education counselor at Flint, India. So without further ado, let's deep dive into the UAE job market. UAE, specifically Dubai, is a hyper-capitalist society where a big part of the population comprises expats who have come here specifically to work. So over the past few days, I have been conversing with multiple people who are already working in the UAE, and as per their suggestion, one should only consider moving to Dubai if they are getting at least 3 times the salary of what they are getting in India. Talking about work-life balance, work is life in Dubai. There is no work-life balance. If we consider the PPP, that is purchasing power parity, some parts of the UAE, specifically in Dubai, it's almost 3 times as expensive what it is in India. So if you land a job that pays 1.5 times of your current salary, then you're looking at a drastic decline in the quality of life, as Dubai is super expensive compared to India. Some say the only reason Indian expats come to Dubai is due to the zero income tax. Otherwise, most of them still want to go to Europe. It's just the taxes are very high there. And everyone has a different opinion when it comes to job satisfaction. Some will tell you that white supremacy in the Arab world will make you feel small. And just to be true, I have personally experienced with my own eyes that Arabs are more comfortable with whites. Here I would blame the stereotype that Indians have set in this country. The country was built on cheap Indian slave labor, and that automatically makes view us Indians as a lower form of life. I mean, it's not their mistake, obviously. Coming on to the skill shortage, before you decide to move to any country for work, you should always check the most in-demand skill sector of that particular country. Talking about the UAE, the 7 most common in-demand skills for 2026 and the coming years are as follows. On number 1, we have the renewable energy sector. Number 2, we have healthcare. Then we have the manufacturing sector, followed by the railway sector. Number 5, we have civil engineering. Dubai allocated 46% of their entire budget just to infrastructure development in 2025. And as per the recent reports, Dubai has now overtaken London now as the top choice for international property investment. So real estate तो boom करेगा ही करेगा, and in fact आज की डेट में भी अच्छा खासा boom कर रहा है. The 6th and the most in-demand sector is the cyber security space. And last but not the least, if you have data science skills, the UAE can be a solid option for you. Ajay, I saw this user's post on Reddit where she stated that she's a 32-year-old female coming from an EU country with 10 years of experience in supply chain and logistics, but recently moved to Dubai for better opportunity, only to find out that even after applying for hundreds of positions, she hasn't been able to secure even one interview. Actually, this is something very commonly observed in Dubai job market. To save time and money, companies prefer hiring through connections or referrals rather than LinkedIn or Glassdoor. And there's a very massive import of people from countries जहाँ पे jobs की shortage है. The Philippines can be a very good example in this case, as the Filipinos are ready to work for low salaries. Unless you know someone in the system, it's hard to enter the job market. And most of the small companies literally don't even care if you're coming from a top university or any premium university in your home country. So simply, employers को ऐसा बंदा चाहिए होता है who can hit the ground on the very first day. A friend's friend could also help you land a job. And if you're planning to work in Dubai, then you'd better start building connections in Dubai as soon as possible. In my opinion, the best approach is to pursue a short degree in the UAE, which will help you build connections and gain an understanding of the local market. So कुल मिला के the system is flawed, and the key is to shift your strategy. One should learn more on networking and direct outreach rather than relying solely on online applications. This is coming from my friend's personal experience. My friend told me that it's very common to see at workplaces that how at the same level of job role, one expat is highly paid compared to other, just based on the color of their passport. Now moving on to the living expenses, my friend who currently works for a construction company in Dubai gets a salary of approximately 15,000 AED. He's been living there for almost a year and a half now. Talking about the expenses part, he has a 1 BHK in JLT. JLT is considered as one of the most premium locations in Dubai. So here is a telephonic conversation that I had with him where he shares some insights about Dubai.
कॉलिंग बहुत ज्यादा रहता है तो मेरा फोन का प्लान जो है दैट इज ऑफ 300 दिरहम. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी एंड वाटर का बिल एक साथ आता है.
रेंट आपका पे कैसे होता है? तो एडवांस मतलब 3 महीने का ही जाता है कम से कम, या आप मंथली पे कर सकते हो?
यहाँ पे बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो कहते हैं कि हमको साल भर का रेंट एक साथ चाहिए. अगर आप मंथली में जाते हो तो थोड़ा एक्सपेंसिव भी हो जाता है. तो शेयर्ड अपार्टमेंट का रेंट करीब मानो 10,000 दिरहम होगा तो सब लोग अपना 2,500 बांट लेते हैं. तो जो आप स्टूडियो में 5,000 देने वाले हो वो आपको 2,500 में काम मिल जाता है. बेसिक ग्रोसरीज घर से रिलेटेड आपका.
Remember how I told you at the very beginning that Dubai is almost 3 times as expensive compared to India? So if you're looking for a lifestyle upgrade, Dubai, UAE can be a superb option as you'll save a significant amount of money on taxes. On one hand, you pay 30% tax in India, and if you move to UAE, you pay nothing in taxes. Let's take an example here. Let's say you are a software engineer and you are getting $10,000 a month. You'll simply save $3,000 every month just in taxes by moving to UAE, which will make your living expenses almost free. Plus, we are very well aware that how clean the air is in India, how it rarely floods during monsoons, and how 80% of the population never relies on free ration provided by the government that is being paid through taxpayers' money. Coming on to the job portals, we have LinkedIn in the first place, followed by Bayat, which is a leading Middle East job portal. Then we have Indeed, Gulf Talent, and Naukri Gulf. I mean, there are more portals, but these are the most active ones. To sum up, the UAE is almost 40 times smaller than India, and most of the country remains largely deserted. Regarding population, the UAE's population is approximately 11.35 million, which is 135 times smaller than India. Another interesting fact, India's GDP is almost 7 times the size of UAE. But there is a big but actually. If we talk about UAE's GDI, that is gross domestic income, और अगर हम layman language में बोले तो average income, the UAE's GDP per capita is almost $40,000 compared to India's $2,000. So जाने से पहले I want to convey a message to all the students and working professionals who are watching this video and constantly battling with the question of whether they should move abroad or stay back in India. इसके जवाब में मैं हमेशा एक ही बात बोलता हूँ कि हमारे देश में टैक्स पेयर्स कम हैं, टैक्स नहीं. एंड जिस हिसाब से हम इंडियंस अपनी बेइज्जती करा रहे हैं ना इंटरनेशनली, इससे पहले वीज़ा ही इशू होना बंद हो जाए, चले जाओ. सो इफ़ यू कैन मूव अब्रॉड यू शुड, फॉर अ बेटर लाइफस्टाइल, ब्रीदेबल एयर, and an environment where you will be respected irrespective of your post, political connections, religious beliefs or color. Or if you're liking the content, do subscribe to the channel as it motivates me to make more such videos. And I promise, as the channel grows and I add in more team members, I will try to put in more research, more data, and give out better suggestions when it comes to studying abroad. So for that, you have to make sure that this channel grows. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.